Hi everyone, I'm JD from The Band Journals, and I am so excited to announce that my book, Lamp in Dark Places, is now officially published and available to be held and read. And oh my goodness, it is so very cool to actually have a physical copy in my hands, and it's an actual book. It's an actual book. For so long this has just been a stack of pages like this, and look at this, all of this artwork and all of these pages, they have now been turned into a book. So exciting. Oh my goodness, when it arrived in the mail, I suddenly was overcome with nerves. I was excited, but I was also nervous and a bit afraid to see it. And originally I did get a first test print, and yeah, I opened it and I was like so nervous, but it was like, yeah, almost shaking holding this in my hands. There were a few pages that were just, I wasn't too happy with some of the pages, so I went back and spent many hours editing the pages, and replacing photos and all this kind of stuff. So on the back you might notice a little bit of a difference with the photos. So this one, it came out just a bit too blurry, so I replaced it with this one, which I actually think is better anyway. So isn't that often the case when you have to adapt and change things? Often the changes we make end up being better. So this is representative. If you've well, the ladies taking the Everything Journal course with me this year know all about the hand and how the hand is a recurring theme throughout this book. So yeah, check the description box below if you are interested in purchasing your own copy. There is a physical print on demand option, or there is also the ebook. So you can get the PDF, which this is printed from. So if you want the PDF, you can definitely print a copy for you and bind it yourself, or you can just, read it digitally, which is what I've been doing, because every single time that I make changes to this book, I have to go through the PDF and just make sure everything looks okay. And so I have just been looking at the PDF non-stop for the last few weeks. And to now be able to actually see what it looks like in print is absolutely amazing. Now look at the spine. This spine took me so long to do. Oh my goodness, because each of these parts are a separate piece. This is a separate piece, this is a separate image, this is a separate image, this is, the words are separate pieces. So I had to piece those little bits together and have them fit exactly in this spine. It took so long. I was magnifying to like 300%, trying to get this lined up, and I love how it looks. The idea is to have it be eye-catching on the shelf, so that people are like, oh, what's that book? And I wanted it to reflect me, and it's everything in my book has a reason for being there. So every little element, every collage, every photo, every piece is there for a reason, because that's how I do things. So the colors represent something. There are 4 chapters in the book, and there's the green chapter, the purple chapter, the pink chapter, and the blue chapter, and that's the order they appear in the book. So that's why the spine has these 4 colors. There's a reason for everything. And the sequin, because it's about, that represents like the light and the sparkle, finding the gems in the dark places, in the struggles. So that's why there's a sequin on the spine. So everything has a reason. Everything. Part of me wants to do a separate book just explaining why everything is there. The cover, everything has a reason. Okay, so this is a piece from my grandma that was passed down to me. This is her handwriting. When it was dark, the Lord appeared in a vision. That's what this book is about. God sort of gave me the idea for this book through this scripture, Lamp in Dark Places. He gave me the title for this book, it felt like. And ownership. This book is about owning my story, owning my struggles, and owning my voice, owning the fact that it's okay to express ourselves. Because for so long, you'll see if you read the book that I felt like I had to be silent and invisible. And this book is about stepping out of my comfort zone and letting the thoughts and feelings and the art and the words be seen, which can be terrifying. It can be really terrifying to show people your innermost thoughts and feelings, and to share your art with people, to share your writing with people is terrifying. And everything means something. So this represents me because I love blue. This represents finding the gold in the what's that quote? There is gold in the dirt and glitter in the dark, or something like that, which is actually in the book. I'm getting so excited. I love all the sequins. That again represents the gems. And then the back, I'll read the blurb for you. Lamp in Dark Places is a visually stunning memoir of a soul-searching journey that is a treat for the eyes and the spirit. Uni bravely faces questions of life, faith, identity, and purpose. She creatively explores universal human struggles without ever dropping anchor in the darkness, but mining it like a cave for the beauty and the sparkle. She emerges with so many gems of light, truth, and wisdom. She reminds us we wouldn't have gems without exploring dark places. And blurb inspiration, special mention to Dorinda D, because she helped me come up with this blurb, because she was one of the early readers. So thank you so much, Dee. And then Juni Desiree, or Uni Desiree, is a writer and artist in Australia. She teaches journaling courses and facilitates creative workshops for well-being. She also makes and sells journals on YouTube and Etsy, and this is where people can find me. I have my own ISBN and everything. There's my little author photo. Let's do a quick little sneak peek. I love this. I definitely wanted the first page to have a library card, because that's how I start my journals. My heart behind this book was for it to look and feel like my own personal journals. So it's very arty, mixed media, very collage, lots of photos. And this is the dedication. I want to offer you hope, comfort, a safe place, a mirror for the human condition, a blanket for your soul, a band-aid for your wounds, a hug for your heart, connection human to human, heart to heart. This is the contents: soul survival, dark night, sunrise, wrestle with flowers. And some of these pieces, these are just for me. These are just notes to myself that you don't actually have to read, but I like having them there for me. And then it starts off with this quote that sets the scene, the tone of the journal. The unexamined life is not worth living. So in this, throughout these pages, it's me examining life. Here's the introduction. This is my book, a collection of journal entries about my wrestle with how to live and be me in the world. That's my book in a nutshell. This is chapter 1, Soul Survival. My soul journey isn't traveled through maps and roads, but through words and notebooks. And this is where it all begins. I feel a need to gather evidence of my existence. I want to gather my pieces to make sense of me and my place in the world, to give me something solid, a starting point, to know what I'm working with, to find out who I am, to say who I am, to say how I will live. And that's where we begin. And that's why this book is full of different collage elements, lots of photos, because I needed to gather these pieces together in one place to make me feel like I was solid again. I was feeling a little bit lost during this time when I was writing this book, so this book helped me to find my home. So I'm made up of question marks. I want to reconcile myself to my life. I want to find my home without a house. I was feeling a bit homeless in my own skin, basically. So this book was about finding my home again in my skin. Permission. This is a permission slip. A lot of these pages will look familiar to the people taking the Everything Journal course, because we use a lot of these prompts. You have permission not to know. You have permission to be here, to take up space, to show up, to speak up, to be seen. You have permission to let people in. You have permission to be all of you. Again, the hand is something that features throughout this journal, and you'll figure out why if you read the book. So these are the pages of my book. Look at this. I'll just do like a quick little flip through. I want to do like a fun book launch party live. So if you're around and would like to schedule in, this is chapter 2, and join me for that launch party. I'm going to plan it for Friday morning at 10:30. So if you're around, that will be Thursday night for you. So if you're in America, so check a time converter if you need to. But I would love for you to join me for a book launch party on Friday, where I will go through some of the pages in this book and flip through and read my favorite pages and talk about how I created them perhaps and what each piece means. It's one of my favorite pages. And I can read any page that you want me to read live, and I answer any of your questions about how I put this book together perhaps. And yeah, I'll just chat through the process of how this all came together. So I am super excited for the launch party, but it is available now if anyone wants. I've already emailed all the people who were on the pre-order list. Now, for my Aussie friends, the website that you purchase it from is an American website. It's called Blurb, and it's a print-on-demand service. Now, if you're in Australia and you can't afford that, because it's in an American, it's an American company, so prices are a bit more expensive for Australians. Totally understand that. So if you can't afford that, I am getting copies printed from an Australian printer. Now these ones, there will only be 70 copies. I've gone with 70. And it'll probably be more like 60 because I'm giving some away as well. And actually it'll probably be more like 50 because people from my actual life have already claimed theirs. So if you want to be one of those people who gets one of those 50 copies, please email me, because you will also go on that pre-order list to reserve your copy from Australia. So that will give you a bit of a cheaper option. So it is basically $40 because every page is an artwork. It took me 2 years to complete this book. Lots of time and energy spent making these pages. They're more like, yeah, art pages. So it is a bit more expensive than your traditional novel. So $40, and that will be $40 for you if you're in Australia, $40 US if you're in America. So that's why if you need a cheaper option in Australia, there will be about 50 copies available for you. But once they're gone, they're gone. So it's first in, best dressed with those 50 copies. But otherwise, there's the print on demand option that will always be there anytime. And if you're in any country whatsoever, you can purchase through that website, I believe. As many copies, there's no limit to that one, because like I said, it's a print on demand service. For people who maybe can't afford a physical copy, there is the ebook. There is the ebook version as well. So I just want to highlight this page because this is one of my favorite page spreads to end the book. This was sort of the inspiration behind the book, the reason why I wrote it. I want my book to be like a lamp in dark places, to let people know they're not alone, to let people know they're allowed to struggle, to let people know they're allowed to share their struggles, and to let people know they are loved in the struggle and that they are still worthy in the struggle. And that gave me, of course, the title for the book. So that's a pretty important page to put in this book. And I have this literal page is stuck on my gallery wall. So I have the original on my gallery wall. Now this page kind of bookends it. So remember when I read out at the start how I said I want to find my home? I found my way home through the making of this book. These are my pages on the floor. I'm trying to arrange them, and through making this book, I found my way home. So a big thank you to Sabrina Ward Harrison. I took her bookmaking course called Liberate, and that's how I made this book through her. So I am so excited to close the door on this book now so I can get started on my next book. And a little sneak peek of that. A book list. Sabrina was saying she would love to have a book list of books that I recommend. So I put some there, and I also put at the bottom books I want to read. And then finally, here's the last page of the book. May you know the beauty of your own soul. And I did a creative self-portrait inspired by Karen from By Boho Love. She gave me permission to use that. And I have this here because this is sort of like the preview to my next book, which I think will be called Beauty of the Soul. So that's it. That's my book. I am so excited that it's actually a physical book. I love how colorful it is. I love how, just how every page looks different, which is what I wanted. I wanted it to look like my journals. And lots of these pages were started out as literal journal pages. And I'm thinking of having some prints of some of my favorite pages that people can purchase, just standalone ones, and perhaps having some background pages and writing my favorite quotes on them, because I think that would be great for my gallery wall, and I'll offer that for other people if they want to put them on their own wall or frame them or whatever. And I also have another option of a lot of these background pages I scanned before I added the words. So I was thinking of maybe offering that up in a printable kit, some of my background pages, like some of these collages before I did the words. There's just the paper, just this paper by itself. Like these, again, before I put the words, I collaged the pieces and then took a photo or scanned them. Same as this, scanned that. And oh my goodness, just so fun, so fun. Huge thank you to on the thank yous page, all the people who have donated to seeing this book come to fruition, and all of you guys, all my beautiful subscribers, members and patrons. Special mention to you, to Jennifer, to Dee and to Carol. Special thanks to them as well. Psychology in Seattle featured heavily in this book. They gave me permission to use some of their words, and my creative inspiration here as well. Yeah, just I am excited. Just wanted to share that with you all. Thank you for following this journey. Yeah, it's been a 2-year journey, and I just love like some of the texture that you can see here. Let me show you on this collage page. This is one of my favorite page spreads right here. Like, look at that. You can see the texture, the feather, and yeah, so cool. Like even that one you can see kind of lifting up with the texture, and here with the fabric you can see the texture there and texture here. It's imperfect. It is an imperfect book, but I'm okay with that because I'm imperfect, and it captures where I am, or where I was at the time of making this book. That's what it's about. Our journals and books, they capture where we were. And I'm ready now to work on where I am now, because I'm not here anymore. I'm not in the same place where I was when I made this book. And I want to capture the next part of the journey. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Check the description box below for where you can purchase this book. Email me if you're in Australia and would like one of the 50 copies. And join me for the book launch party live on my channel Friday morning, if you can make it. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye guys.